And I thought about like playing some Star Wars for the intro, but it's like, no, probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
My phone's died.
Your phone's died?
There. Yep. Good.
I can hear you.
I don't think I have phones.
Hold up. There we go. That.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
And he's back.
And yes. That's right. I keep forgetting which one it is.
Why, hello?
Star Wars.
The tune of.
I really meant to bring that fake Star Wars that we use for the holiday parody. And I'll put it at the beginning of this, so if you're watching this or listening to this, you've already heard what I'm talking about.
Wow. It's time travel.
It's time travel.
Week after week after week.
Yes, indeedy. And
Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
Geez, sorry. Technical.
That was Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Well, good evening or day or morning, wherever you guys are, to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Oh, yes. Extraordinary.
We should just change it to, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
This is episode 57, and we're doing
57.
the Star Wars episode because we're all big fans.
Yeah.
It's been our entire lives, right?
Pretty much. I mean,
Then there's
Star
kind of before and after, right?
Yeah, I don't remember much before.
Yeah, it was just darkness.
before
Everything was in
Star
black and white.
I think I think before Star Wars it was
Sesame Street.
it was Steve Austin. It was the $6 million
$6 million
man.
man. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Had Bigfoot.
Yeah, as far as sci-fi, right?
Yeah, as far as like just the stuff, fandom stuff that I remember from my childhood, that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, it's a good call. I remember having the Steve Austin doll that you could look
Did
through
you?
his
Yeah,
eyes.
I never did. Yeah, no, they're cool though.
They have.
Suzanne Summers. Did I? What was the Bionic Woman's name?
Lindsay
Wagner, but her
Wagner,
character
yeah.
was something Summer, right? Or-
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Her last name was Summers.
Yeah. I did not have that doll.
No,
I don't think Dad would let me play with it.
I had the Steve Austin doll with the eye thing, and I also had like his little base of operation, which was like a cardboard and plastic dome.
Nice. I remember Mom brought home a RV. It was like and I think it was but she got it at a garage sale.
It
was all beat up, but it was so friggin' cool.
It was probably the same mold as the Barbie RV.
I'm sure.
Yeah, is that all?
Just painted different.
Yeah,
Different
gadgets. Decals. Yeah.
I did watch. I haven't watched all of it yet. I don't think. Or maybe I did watch the whole thing, but I watched the new He-Man on Netflix.
Oh, the Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
second season, right?
no, this is like a brand. It's the same cast of people from the original one that he did.
Yeah,
but it's a brand new show.
Oh,
because it's kind of like a sequel.
Okay, all right.
Because it's not connected.
It's
not really connected to the other one, so it's not like season 3. It's its own season.
Nice. Well, Todd and Mike, if you guys are feeling in danger or unsafe or anything else, tonight's safe word.
Sondon?
Don't get cocky, kid.
Okay.
Nice.
I was going to say.
Yeah. But Sondadondadon would have been great.
Because it's different every time.
Yeah, just yell out some version of Son Diddly Doo, and we'll.
Yeah, and I think ours is the most watched Star Wars Holiday Special radio parody of all time.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
That's
It's
something.
got like 7,000.
Something fantastic.
Views,
It's
which is
fantastic.
friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
And by the way, folks, all the paraphernalia, most of it, except for the bobbleheads, are mine.
Yes.
Sure.
I am
They
like,
belong to
How
the Ford
big
stock.
into the Star Wars?
yeah, go ahead and just pick it up and just smack it. Yeah,
I'm getting shot at right now.
and he's deflecting. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How come it's a red lightsaber, Todd? I'm surprised.
that's Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Oh, I guess you're correct.
Man.
Hence the mask.
Todd, we already knew that you were on the dark side.
Well.
Yeah.
Boys, there's some headlines. There's some new news surrounding Star Wars. At least it's within the last couple of weeks. Daisy Ridley, who is tapped to continue her character in a new Star Wars movie.
Skywalker.
Which will come out probably 2 or 3 years
I thought
from
that
now.
was fake news. Okay.
No.
Jeez.
No, it's real. And the angry fanboys are like, it's not real. It can't be real. They're not bringing her back.
What they're saying is that this will probably, the rumor is that it'll take place 15 years after the last trilogy, and that she'll be trying to reestablish some kind of Jedi academy.
Is it going to be episode 10? Something?
I don't know. I didn't see anywhere where they were trying to make this into a new trilogy or anything. But she said on the movie that the movie idea is cool as shit.
Nice.
And that's a direct quote from her. And I really like Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, no, me too. She was
kid.
just about my favorite part of those.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, all three of us, I think, like her, but it's sad that so many, and I hate to call them fans because
No, just trolls, dude.
they're
It's
fucking
just
trolls.
fucking trolls, man. Yeah, that's all that is.
All
It's
the
just
people
weird.
who were just bent out of shape because she was air quotes folks, Mary Sue, and it's like, motherfucker.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But the thing is like, people who were complaining that she figured out the Force way too fast. It's like, she basically did the same fucking story arc as Luke.
Yeah.
Same
no
fucking
lie.
thing.
Right? Yeah.
What did Luke know about the Force when he was,
he's the
rebuilding
son of
moisture
the
evaporated?
chosen one. So
Yeah.
That argument is stupid to me, and I don't know.
And it's a movie.
I really enjoyed those three movies.
Yeah.
I really did.
Sure.
I hands down. As far as Star Wars movies go, I was entertained by the prequels. Afterwards, and watching them the second or third time, I was like, oh god, it's not really my Star Wars anymore. It's somebody else's.
There's scenes of absolute brilliance in them.
Yes,
there really
but
are.
there are also some scenes where I'm like,
what in the world were you thinking, George?
I mean,
Want to get high?
the thing that I was saying when Disney was first announced that they bought Lucasfilm, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, they're going to ruin Lucasfilm." I was like, "No, George already did that."
he gave it the college try.
George already
we love it so much.
George already re-edited those movies 17 times.
Oh, that's
and then the
right.
prequels,
Remember that?
The prequels were they had. And I always said this is like, it looks like Star Wars, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like there was elements that were like, oh, that's really cool, and then you have like the really creepy love story between Padme and like Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, what were they, like 6 years apart?
5 years.
I don't know,
apart.
but there's zero chemistry.
Yeah,
zero.
exactly.
Zero.
And he was like, legitimately when we saw him as a teenager, he was like every neckbeard you've ever met in your life. He was like, she's probably not into me, and she totally is. And she's like, I don't understand why she's into me, But that was essentially his character, and I was like, why are you such a whiny little bitch?
My favorite meme of the week is Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi asking Anakin FMK, and he goes, Padme.
Oh
Fuck
my
Mary
God!
Because he
All
probably
right, that's funny.
did.
That's funny.
That is funny. I hit the wrong button.
Yeah,
by
she
the way.
died from a broken heart because of Anakin, right?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. But getting back to the Rey movie, another thing that the fanboys are going to hate is it's being directed by the Ms. Marvel director, and I'm going to get her name wrong, Charmin Obaid Chinoy? Sound right?
That sounds close.
I'm hoping that's right.
Well, that was a nice-
I heard that too, and they're like, and there's this. You cannot hear yourself again.
It's back.
I haven't seen Marvels at all, so I don't know.
The Marvels is great, but yeah, they're saying that there's a quote that she says about making men uncomfortable, and it's from like 6 years ago from a movie she was doing about.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah.
I've seen crap about that.
Yeah, it has absolutely zero to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, and my response to that is if a movie like that, because it's women power, makes you feel uncomfortable,
That's about you, man.
then you need to grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Come to me, tell me your problems, and I'll tell you what a vagina.
You know what?
Feels like.
You can leave a voicemail or send us a text.
Yeah.
And we'll set you straight.
Yeah. It's fiction, people.
It really
right.
is.
And if you don't like their fiction, there are fan fiction sites.
Oh, my God.
As far as you can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Write your own. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's what
more
fan fiction's
content.
for,
right.
Plenty of misogynistic,
Go right. Knock yourself out.
male-dominated.
Yep.
I mean, go back to the 80s and grab a Conan the Barbarian. I mean,
How dare you, sir?
I'm just
How
saying.
dare
I'm
you,
just
sir.
saying.
The
that
best
it's-
film
I
of
mean,
its genre.
why not?
Yeah.
Hey, why not Red Sonja, man?
Well, that's more female-dominated, I would say.
And then we had a Valkyrie in that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We also had the crazy witch lady. We should just have a Conan the Barbarian episode. No.
We could totally do that, man.
Yeah,
Wow, I don't mind having a Conan.
I'm down for rewatching it.
I have to rewatch it.
Have you guys either of you seen the Jason Momoa Conan?
I did, yeah.
Did you like it? I
I
enjoyed
don't
it.
remember it.
I don't remember it either, but I remember enjoying it.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
thinking
I
it
mean,
was
it's
good.
the kids, Jason Momoa, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Handsome,
Yeah.
built,
Yeah.
fun. I don't know. It had to have been good. I just don't remember the
I mean, it was exactly how I remember the Arnold movie.
Oh,
just
man.
like a guy with no clothes on, and you know,
and a big sword.
Yeah,
Big
it
sword.
really, we had, I mean,
I think the only thing
I
it was
really
missing
did.
was James Earl Jones.
Oh,
sure.
man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so
What was
good.
his name in the movie again?
Oh, I don't
Tulsa
even.
Doom.
Bulls of Doom. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Tulsa
Nice.
Doom. He's cool.
Well, guys, this
Oh,
was
hey.
kind of surprising in the news. Lucasfilm has announced this month, just a few days ago, that the newest Star Wars film in the entire series is going to be The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Right on.
And it's continuing the story that's already been established in the Mandalorian series. So it sounds like maybe they're not going to do another season of it, that they're going to do it in a
movie instead.
movie. John Favreau is set to direct, and he's going to co-write with Filoni.
Jeez, there you go.
Hold on, yeah.
And they're looking at probably December of 25 on that.
Okay.
So we don't have that. I mean, it's 2 years away.
Yeah,
but-
geez.
That's fine,
That's
man.
eternity. And,
Yeah.
You know what? As long as we get more Ahsoka, I'm cool with
Yeah, well,
Grogu
that
being
too.
in movies.
Yeah.
You know.
oh, yeah, no, I think that's
You know.
fun. And they also left it because they didn't Luke get involved and fight all the
yeah.
At the end of
right?
season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like they're in a time period where all sorts of stuff could happen.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
And everyone's been like pulling for Sebastian Stan, you know,
To play a young
Yeah.
Luke.
to play young Luke.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think he would.
I don't think that's terrible.
Yeah, I think they look.
He looks a lot like Mark did when he was like 30 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
And the more I see of Sebastian Stan, the more I like his act, because he's not just a Winter Soldier. He's very
Yeah. He's done-
typecast
he-
as the Winter Soldier,
sure,
but
sure, yeah.
he's done some incredible stuff outside of any
Yeah.
just
I saw his name come up on a movie. I was like, I remember not liking that movie, but I may have to rewatch it now that I know that he's in it.
Do you remember which one though?
I don't.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a terrible fucking teeny bopper like angsty movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Parents don't like me. Well, as of 2020, boys, the Star Wars franchise has grossed a worldwide box office. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Box office
Yeah.
revenue
I think-
of over $10 billion. My headphones keep cutting.
You know what?
Nice.
Swap out to the other ones. The other ones are in the blue bin.
now.
No, that's
No,
Mike anyway.
I can hear you just fine. It's your headphones.
Might miss the weight on that one. 10 billion.
Yeah, which actually that seems low to me.
It actually does. I don't think that includes like merchandising.
I bet not.
It's just probably the
So
movie
they've
box office.
Box
they,
office.
They've more than doubled their investment in Lucasfilm because they bought it for 4.5
Oh,
billion.
is that all they
3
got?
point Something. Yeah, no, I mean it was a lot.
They bought it for it was 4.2 billion with a B.
Man, oh man. I'll take half that in cash, everybody.
Yeah.
If a billion people each send us $1,
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you.
If 1 out of a billion
yeah.
sends us.
Then we get it,
Cash
$8.
at ADHD.rocks. I'll be surprised if I get anything.
You guys, we talked about, I think it was last week when we talked about Burt Reynolds was up for Han Solo, but he turned it down. And we talked about some other, I think Christopher Walken and some others were up for the Han Solo role, Martin Sheen and stuff. But I found some actors who were up for Luke and Leia.
Did you ever see the bit that SNL did in regards to that, where they had I can't remember the actor's name, but one of the SNL guys was doing impressions of all those people doing those parts.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man, that's tough.
That's awesome. Well, the other actors for Luke, sorry guys, it's going to be a miserable day. The other actors for Luke were Nick Nolte, William Catt, Tommy Lee Jones, and Johnny Travolta himself.
Really?
For Luke? Jeez, Tommy Lee Jones. Who's Will Catt?
He played the Greatest American Hero. The curly-haired blonde.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, gee,
Yeah.
Wow.
And then up for the role of Leia was Amy Irving, Linda Pearl, who I'm not sure I remember.
I don't recognize either one of those names.
Cindy Williams, who was Shirley.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Adorable.
Jodie Foster and Sissy Spacek, among others.
Wow.
Terry Nunn and Carrie Fisher were the two that made it to the the final choice, and ultimately went with Fisher. Lucas's favorite was Terry Nunn, but at that time, I think she was a minor and didn't think it was a good idea to have her in the role.
Yeah, man.
Especially walking around set with no bra.
Smart move, man. Smart move.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I think, who was the director of Carrie? Was that Brian De Palma? Did he
I don't
do that?
know.
Jeez, that sure sounds.
But he picked up Sissy Spacek and John Travolta for the Carrie role because they had been rejected from the Star Wars. So it made them available to do the Carries.
Which I've never seen.
You never seen Carrie?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never watched the entire
Palma film, or is that it's not John Carpenter, right?
It's not Carpenter.
If there was only a way we could find out.
It's better just to,
I can't remember if that was who it was.
Charles, maybe you should try the other headphones in the bin.
No, these are fine. These always work. I think it's just a connection somewhere. Because they're working great right now.
Okay.
Anywho, Carrie was done. You guys haven't seen Carrie?
No, I have not.
No. I when that movie came out, I was definitely not old enough to watch it.
Cover your dirty pillows.
All I remember is that there was lots
a De Palma film.
Lots of blood and like a super religious
and she
mother.
just gets picked on the whole time. Right?
Oh, big time, yeah. And then she has that moment of where they think, and the William Catt character, I'm not spoiling anything because this came out in 70-something, but the William Catt character actually starts to have feelings for her. Oh. They make him her the date for the prom.
Yeah.
They make him ask her, but I think he's really actually into it and he's enjoying himself, and then they do the pig's blood thing.
Yeah. Which is that's a dick move.
Oh my God. And who thinks of that?
I don't know.
What kind of animal do you have to be?
That's the Greatest American Hero?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in Carrie.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's John Travolta's buddy, but he's one of the gang, the bully gang.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that John Travolta was in that movie, to be perfectly honest.
It's a very early role for him, so he's not. I mean, he's part of the ensemble, but it's not like he's the.
So this was before he did Saturday Night Fever.
The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Yeah, I think it was after Plastic Bubble, after Cotta or during Cotta. Cotta.
Mr. Cotta.
So at this point, boys, I threw in an extra top 5, which we usually save for the bonus round, which everybody can go to the website and join the members only section to see them, or they can go to the Patreon. Which is French for give us money, please, and check out our top 5s. We'll do one at the in the actual bonus round where we pick our favorite Star Wars characters across all the universe, all the time, all time. But right now, do you guys want to do a top 5 favorite Star Wars spacey ships?
Jeez, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll kick it off unless my big one is Vader's flagship Star Destroyer, Executor.
Executor, yeah, no, it's that gigantic.
Thing was gigantic. Yeah, because you see all the other Imperial Star Destroyers, and you're like, oh my God, look how big that is compared to the Rebel ships. Yeah. And then his comes out, and it looks all modern. Yeah. It's that.
The one that has like the flat surfaces all the way across.
I think, yeah.
I thought that was the Emperor ship.
I don't. Does he?
Because it's even bigger than the other ones, and it had like a solid thing around the edges. It was like I don't know how to explain it, but
it's the one that Vader's on, and he's got his pod in there that he sits in and all that. Yeah. The Executor.
Yeah, and it's all the Star Wars ships that have light speed capability do it, but when they just drop. Yeah. And it's these giant Star Destroyers. You'll see somebody's little putt boat, and these giant Star Destroyers just go gong 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 gong. Yeah, it's a sinking feeling.
Yeah.
We in trouble now?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, golly, Ollie.
That was your number 5.
That's my number 5. So, Mike, what would a number 5 look like for you?
I do. As silly as it is, the Y-wing bomber.
Really?
Yeah, I like him. And its cousin is the from the last one where they're scraping the white sand and it's the red sand.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what those are called, but those were cool, yeah.
Yeah, because those are kind of like the Y-wing, right?
Yeah. Those are cool. I just they didn't have as big a presence on screen, I think, as the other.
They were more like land speeders than they were like spaceships.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the Red Planet ones.
Yeah. What about you, Todd? What were number 5 favorite Star Wars ships?
I don't know the name of them, but I just call them the Final Order destroyers, the ones that have the giant planet-destroying cannons on them.
Yeah.
In the
I forgot about
the Rise of Skywalker. They look like a normal Star Destroyer, but they have the giant fucking Death Star cannon on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I was like, I want to see more of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, well, you almost did in the Rise of Skywalker, right? It's like...
That's, folks, what a military-industrial complex can do for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And Empires, they're dedicated.
Yeah. Very much so. My number 4 is, this is a classic, and I hope it's going to probably destroy your guys' list, but the X-Wing.
Oh, yeah.
Just a classic X-Wing, especially when they go into attack mode and the wings open up.
How that helps, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
it's cool.
It spreads the fire out or something. Spreads the...
I guess it would, right? You can triangulate a little better.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah. And those look so cool in all the graphics. On the shirts and all this stuff. They just look awesome.
Yeah. And there was nothing else like it.
It really wasn't.
No.
Yeah, and even like the copycats, right? Battlestar Galactica had the Vipers, but they didn't have the wings that opened up, and the X-wings were so much bigger too.
Sure.
And then you've got the navigation robot in the back,
and they've got light speed capability.
Yes,
actually,
hyperdrives.
They're not that much bigger. They're only bigger because of the wings, because the cockpit and the fuselages are roughly about the same size.
Oh, between an X-wing and a Viper.
I've stood next to a Viper at the EMP back when they had the Sci-Fi Museum. They had the full size one. They had a classic one, and they had the 2004 one.
Did you get to climb in them?
No, damn it! You could stand right next to them, and you could actually touch them. They didn't want you to.
Yeah.
But and I've walked past an X-wing, Poe Dameron's X-wing at Disneyland.
Nice.
So they're roughly about the same, maybe a little bigger on the X-wing, but not by much. They're roughly about the same size. It's the difference between like an American fighter jet and like a Japanese fighter jet, or even Russian for that matter.
Nice. Mike, what about you? What would a number 4?
First, I have to retract because it's not light they don't have faster than light. They have hyperdrives.
Hyperdrive.
Because it's hyperspace.
Yeah, I mean,
so they don't really.
Yes.
So that's why when people are like, well, you should be able to fly from, planet system to planet system that fast. Like, well, it's not light speed drive. It's hyperspace. So who knows what the fuck.
And like Han Solo says, this isn't Dustin Crop's kid.
They like Dustin Crop's boy.
Yeah.
This is not specifically a spaceship. Is it my turn?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
But the crotch rockets on the Imperials bring the fastest land speeder bike.
The Endor.
Yeah, to the Redwood Forest.
Yeah.
But it's a great
How nuts
scene.
is that?
I love it.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of the Lego Star Wars game is you get to ride those things and like try to navigate the Redwood Forest without killing yourself.
Yeah. And we sat on some of those at SummerCon last summer. There's probably pictures of us doing that somewhere.
Yeah. It's probably on Instagram or Facebook at this point.
It's on the website too.
Yeah, because the Endor scenes are great. There's so many cool. I mean, it's a natural scene so that the machines really stand out, just like C-3PO did. It's like you send C-3PO with the shiny golden guy, on his spy mission.
I always thought that Chewbacca should have been the god, right? Just because he's such a big...
he's a giant Ewok.
He's like 8 feet tall. He looks like an Ewok. Yeah. I remember hearing when I was a kid that the reason why we got Ewoks is because Lucasfilm didn't have the budget to do more than one Wookiee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
God,
I think it was just to be kid friendly. That's all that was. It's just to get the kids stoked.
And he was making a ton of money off of merchandising stuff.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean,
nub.
Yub nub.
Yeah, and I love the kind of off stories where they're like, you don't know what Endor's like. The stormtroopers that survived, those little, meat-eating Ewoks, they seem cute. But
have you seen those things up close? They're not cute.
Yeah, I guess
they are not cute. Like the big bug eyes and like the toothy grin that looks like, I'm gonna peel that skin right off your bones.
Right? Yeah. Oh my God, Todd, what would a number 4 do for you?
Din Djarin's Naboo fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's only had for a few episodes.
He had it for all of the last season, and he got it at the end of the second season, I think.
Yeah, could you imagine traveling through space and that? I mean, it's small. I mean, compared to...
Where's the bathroom?
Compared to his old ship. What was it? The Crest? The
Razor Crest.
Crest.
Which is also on my list.
Which would have been like a small apartment in space.
It's like an RV.
Yeah.
A space RV is what that was.
I mean, this is...
Yeah, who blew that up? I can't remember.
That was the bad guys. I don't remember.
The Esposito bad guy?
Yeah. His guys did
Trying to get to Grogu.
Yeah.
My God. Well, my number 3, and this might be a weird one for you guys, but I really was stoked seeing the Imperial shuttles on screen.
Yeah, they're neat.
Because when they come in and they fold up. And then
when I saw those for the first time, I wanted that as a toy immediately because it's so cool.
They're cool. And then it's usually like Vader or Palpatine get out of them. You know what I mean? It's like, hey.
And I like how they have them in the other movies where they're not quite nearly as shiny looking, but they're still pretty impressive to see flying. Because they use the Bad Batch have one of those.
But they do.
It doesn't have the giant fin on top. It's been cut off. It kind of has a little nub, kind of like dude with the flying arrow in the Guardians movie has it has that little mohawk that's only about this tall. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
How do they stay in balance?
Thrusters, man, thrusters.
You gotta love thrusters.
Mike, what about you? What would
because of the sound effect? It is so startling and grating. Just TIE fighters. Every single TIE fighter. Oh, it's so cool, dude.
You know what
they're the bad guys.
You know what that is? It's a combination of an elephant making some noise and some NASCAR racing.
Oh.
2 elephants fucking on top of a NASCAR going 300 miles an hour.
Essentially. I mean, I watched the sound design thing about Star Wars when I was a kid, and they showed like them making the blaster sounds and the one that was like the coolest though was the TIE fighters and how they recorded like it was just a elephant sound. I don't remember what the specific sound was for. And then it was like the sound of NASCAR racing cars just racing past the microphone.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
And they are.
And they don't have hyperdrive.
And they're like a friggin' swarm.
Yeah.
And then the blasters were...
Yeah.
I had it loaded.
Nice.
Man, Todd's walking around with a load.
I know. Do you see it? Yeah, no. We just talked about this last week, Todd.
You know what that was though? It was someone's. You know the big metal cables that hold up like the telephone poles. The big metal ropes, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah.
Cable, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And the guy was hitting it with a fucking hammer. Bing!
Oh, sure. Sure.
That
You get
makes
the
sense,
weird
yeah.
Doppler style.
Okay, just
How
as long as I
fun
know
would
where
that
it's
be
at.
to be a sound guy and you have to go find?
It's fine.
Yeah.
What's
Crazy
the sound of the... There's a name for that job.
It's a Foley artist.
Yes,
That's
it
right.
is.
But yeah, the sound effect for the lightsaber, the hum, that hum,
Oh, it's cool.
that is an old projector.
Old.
Like an arc light.
Like an arc light projector.
Oh, man.
Huh.
And then like how he got that sound to go wow 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 was he was playing that sound over some speakers, and he had like a Bob Barker style mic, a shotgun mic, and he was waving it in front of the speaker.
Yeah. Interesting.
Huh. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Todd, what would a number 3 favorite ship of all time?
I already mentioned it, but the Razor Crest, because
right.
it was just a badass looking ship.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was sad when it got blown up.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, oh wait, he's getting a Naboo fighter? God, come on, really? Can we not like make reference to those movies, please?
I've got the.
But I do like their designs.
Yeah.
I liked how it was not as perfect looking as the original ones were, like the yellow and silver or whatever the colors were, steel. But this is like it's basically like it's been sitting out on the desert floor for decades, and she kind of pulled it together and spit shined it and whatnot. It looks beat to shit, but it still works, and it works better than it did before. So
it's like the Hot Rod Lincoln, right?
Yeah, it's like you know what?
Rod.
It's a rat. It's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Rat rod. Yeah.
But like if you turned a Duesenberg into a rat rod.
Yeah,
Because they're nice, classy,
Right.
Art Deco.
Yes.
The only thing it's missing though is like flames down the side.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the movie's coming out, so send in your suggestions. No, I've got the Razor Crest Lego set. And it's
yeah?
pretty good size. I mean, took a while to build it, but it's really cool, yeah. On kind of backpacking off of Todd there, my number 2 is the Slave One Boba Fett ship.
I think you and I just juxtaposed.
Oh, did we?
One there, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? I did. That's my number 2 as well.
Okay.
Boba Fett ship, formerly known as Slave One.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons is just because of the way it takes off and then it rotates.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind because it's like you never see, everything's so linear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Star Trek, Star Wars, everything's so linear.
When in reality, there's no reason for spaceships to be that way.
No.
None
at all.
zero. Because there's gravity's wherever you want it to be or nowhere.
Yeah.
I
I can fly like this and feel the same as.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, fuck.
So
It's a cool ship.
I
man.
got the well, back then it was called Slave One. It's Boba Fett ship, though. Anyways, I got that when I was a kid. My mom got it at the Midway swap meet, and I was that kid who kept walking around the swap meet and kept coming back to the guy who had all the cool Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And he was getting mad at me because I kept wandering back there. My mom was trying to buy the Boba Fett ship.
Oh, without you knowing?
Without me seeing it. Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's cool.
It was like birthday or something.
It was for Christmas. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah, that was like the new shiny for me was
Nice.
Slave One and yeah, my mom was so mad at me. She's like, I've been trying to buy something for you for Christmas for the last 2.5 hours.
Go away, Todd. Go talk to strangers, Todd.
Oh my God! There's a van over there. That's just free candy.
Go hide in that van.
Go hide in go hide that refrigerator.
It says free Star Wars toys.
Yeah, free Star Wars stuff.
If you help me find my puppy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where do I sign? Let's go.
Yeah.
Jesus. Todd, so yours, Mike, I think you're up next. You were Slave 2 too, right?
No,
Slave 1?
Slave 1 is my number one.
Oh, that's your number one.
Yeah,
okay.
But, so I think that everybody's number one is probably the Falcon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my number 2.
Okay, so Todd and I were completely on the same page.
Yeah.
You just flipped those.
I did because Slave 1's cool, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, those two ships, not really in order of how cool they are. Just those two are the ones that I like the best.
Falcon's more iconic just because it's.
I don't think it's more iconic. I think it's as iconic. It's just the opposite side of the same coin.
Well, I don't know. You don't see Slave 1 as much screen time as you do the Falcon.
Yeah, but it's still fucking cool.
No, I'm not saying it's not.
Same thing with Boba Fett. He was in the movie all of like 5 minutes.
Right.
Everyone had to have that toy.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah,
it's
doesn't Django have the same ship?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the same ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's because those are police, like prison planet guard ships.
Oh, is that what it's
Yeah.
from? Okay.
And, when he's chasing Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's Django, though. That's not Boba.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
And Boba's armor is Django's armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's a cool scene with the space mines. It's a gong, 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 gong. One of my favorite sound effects of all time.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And you know what?
But Obi-Wan's a good pilot.
I can almost guarantee it's another one of those heavy metal cable things that they're smacking with a hammer.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Yeah, so the Falcon for me, we could talk about the Millennium Falcon for days. Because I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's the RV. It's got games in the back with the super chess.
Yeah.
For some reason he's got that training droid was on his ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the blaster helmet and all that. He's got that lying around.
Yeah.
That's just under the couch.
And the thing is like when I got to go to Disneyland for the first time, and the only time I've ever gone at this point, but when I saw the Falcon for the first time, I like legit ugly cried. I like, oh my God, it's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
And it was just like all the memories of as a kid getting that toy for Christmas, and that was like the coolest Christmas ever, was getting the Millennium Falcon. I got that, and I got 8 or 9 different action figures, and two stormtroopers, Luke, Han, Chewbacca.
Damn. Made out.
Yeah, I got all of the main cast basically, and then
in the same year.
Same year, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Kyle and I, on my other show a few years ago, we interviewed a guy that makes 3D modeling of all the different types of Millennium Falcons, whatever the classification of the ship is.
That's the Corellian light freighter. Yeah.
That's what it is. So he was actually making the 3D rendering so you could take it and make it on your 3D printer. And he brought in like 4 or 5 different little models of them, and they were so cool. They were, not super big. They were about like yay big, but some of them had that middle section that fits into the. And I don't know if that's just extra cargo space.
It was
sure.
Han had it in the Solo movie. And it was
right.
It was an escape pod.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't need that.
If you have a docking station, you can put anything on there.
Yeah.
And the thing is as I recall, that ship was really modular. So his was modded out to be the fastest and
and that's what that guy did. He took the basic elements for the 3D model, and then he modded it so you could add all these different things.
You know what I would like to see is if someone was to make the other pieces for, like, if you had the Kenner Millennium Falcon toy and 3D print those pieces so you could have those on your actual toy. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody 3D printed Kenner toys, would they get sued?
Probably.
Well, and it wasn't Kenner, but it was a Disney product. So I don't know. He created the model himself. He drew it all out. I don't know how he got started with it and what he found. I know there's several books on, the dissections or whatever.
When you buy Star Wars toys, it still says Kenner on the box.
Oh, does it really?
Wow.
Yeah, because Kenner is owned by Hasbro.
Oh,
nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm going to quiz you. How about that? I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and we'll just play it. Whatever your answers are, might be worth 1,000,000 points. Might be worth
right on
$1 million.
As long as it has anything to do with the movies and the TV shows, don't ask me anything about the extended universe because I know nothing about it.
Well, how about this? Let's start with Mike.
No.
Mike, what is the Wookiees' homeworld, and how do you pronounce it?
Like the real way or the Parodi way?
The real way. You tell me how to do it.
I think it's Kashyyyk.
Wrong answer.
Oh.
It's Kazoo.
Nice.
So negative 1,000,000 points for Mike.
Kazook.
It's Kashyyyk.
Oh my God. Well,
Todd, in how many languages is C-3PO fluent?
Oh yeah.
I think it's in over 1 million.
And I think it's over 9 million. 9 million forms of communication or something.
That's what it was. Yeah.
You guys are both wrong.
How dare
but
you?
You went over, Mike, so Todd gets the points.
Good for
We're
you,
going to give him
Todd.
100 points. That is 6 million. Over
That's
6 million.
But
you're close.
He had the right shape. It was just upside down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mike, who shot first, Greedo or Han?
Well, it depends. Some people say Greedo didn't fire at all.
Yep.
So,
I mean, if you're talking the original theatrical release, Greedo didn't even squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
Han had this, and he shot him straight in the face.
They sure did.
Yeah.
And his hair curled.
For me, it doesn't matter because Han needed to blow that motherfucker away.
Yeah, no. It's not like Greedo was a good guy. He was coming for him anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And do they ever say what the price on Han's head was? Like how big of a bounty it was?
I don't remember. It probably is in the special editions at some point. But
So, Mike, I'm going to give you 10 points, and I'm going to give Todd 10 points because he also answered correctly. Todd.
Yes.
Which species stole the plans to the Death Star?
What species stole the plan?
I think I know the answer to this. Let me know if I could steal.
Only if he gets it wrong.
It was in Rogue One. I don't remember.
They say so many of these died stealing these.
Oh, yeah. I
can't think of the name.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
No worries. Do you
I
know
think it's
Mike?
the Bothians.
Bothan.
Bothans. Yeah, Bothans.
Aren't they like a cat-like
I honestly,
I thought those are the blue dudes that
I don't know.
who's the gunslinging?
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy. I think he's a Bothan or Bothan.
Bothan? Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen him. At least not that I'm aware of, anyway. Like I said, I've only watched a handful of shows, and then I've seen all the movies.
Got it. Mike.
Yes.
What odds did C-3PO give Han for successfully navigating the asteroid field?
Oh man!
Never tell me the odds.
Oh,
Yeah,
Todd just got 1,000,000 points. You never tell Han Solo the odds.
Yeah. But it was like 825 million to 1.
No, it's 3,720 to 1.
Oh, that's really not that bad.
It's not that bad odds.
I mean,
but you never tell Han the odds.
Yeah.
Plus 1,000,000 points to Todd.
Oh, it's mad.
Todd, according to George Lucas, what type of dog was the inspiration for Chewbacca?
His dog.
Which was a... I mean, I'll give you points for
I
that
think it's
anyway.
a Shih Tzu.
No, it was a Alaskan Malamute.
Oh.
Malamute.
Malamute?
Yeah.
Really, a husky?
Kind of a husky, yeah.
I mean, I always kind of to me they're the same kind of dog. But
yeah. That was the inspiration, but
Really?
yeah, it came from his dog, and the name actually came from his dog. We'll talk about that in something else.
But like,
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. Yeah, that's funny. No, I remember it was modeled after his dog, but I don't remember it being a Malamute. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a different.
This is straight off the internet, and I tend to believe everything.
There is a photo of his dog who actually looks like Chewbacca. He has the same hairstyle and everything. The way it's come back, his little ears stick out the side.
Yeah. Mike.
Oh.
Who was the very first character to speak in A New Hope? Who was the first character to actually speak? You got to think back.
Because it's a lot of
I don't had
In which movie again?
because he just
New
breaks
Hope.
down the door and starts
Star
shooting
Wars.
everybody.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, geez, I'm going to say Vader. Oh no, it's one of the lackeys.
No,
right? No,
I wouldn't. It was a main character.
Oh, is it Leia?
No.
Oh no, I have no
Todd,
idea.
any idea? Anyone guess?
C-3PO?
Yeah, Todd. We'll give him 100 points on that one. Mike, we're going to give you a -1,000,000.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Well, the screaming, yeah.
I'm going to throw this last question up because you're both sucking on points.
Well,
you're both awesome on points.
Yeah.
You're both awesome on points. Last question. What phrase or variation of this phrase is uttered in every Star Wars movie?
I would say
I have a bad feeling about this.
Todd got it.
God, you're good, Todd. Not even "May the Force be with you."
No. In A New Hope, Luke says it as the Falcon is pulled up into the Death Star, and then Han also says it in the trash compactor.
Yes.
In Empire, Leia says it when the Falcon is sitting when they went into that asteroid and that giant worm, the Exogorth,
whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't know.
Was there. In Return of the Jedi, C-3PO says it when they're going into Jabba's fortress at the beginning. In Phantom Menace...
Jeez, that dog looks just like George Lucas.
Ah, shit. Didn't mean to do that.
In Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan says it after being received by the Trade Federation. It was the very first line for Obi-Wan Kenobi in that series.
Oh.
Attack of the Clones, Anakin being tied up on Geonosis, faced with those three beasts.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see that for a minute.
Yeah, it was a Malamute. I could have sworn it was a different style dog, but an interesting fact, his dog is named Indiana.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah. You name me after the dog?
Yeah.
Huh.
In The Force Awakens, Han, when he's cornered by the two gangs and he's telling Rey to release those two Ranthars. Yeah. Rogue One, K2SO starts to say it when they're just about to go into the security complex on Scarif. Yeah. But Jyn Erso shushes him. He says, "I've got a bad," and she's, "Don't say it," kind of a thing. Last Jedi, Poe Dameron, when he's leading the bombing raid, BB-8 actually says it in binary code. So we don't know what it is, but BB-8. So they don't actually say it.
Sure.
But BB-8 does when Poe is flying.
Sure, no, that counts.
Rise of Skywalker, Lando says it. And then in Solo, Star Wars, Han says he has a good feeling about this while he's evading TIE fighters. So they kind of changed it up a little bit.
That's been like the one line that's consistent through all the movies, I think.
Jeez, that's great.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Woo! Good job on the quiz, you guys. I'm very impressed with your knowledge.
Here's some trivia for you guys. When did it stop being just Star Wars and when it started being called A New Hope?
The VHS years.
Yeah, when he started to when he started to remake them all.
When he first did the THX mix.
Yeah.
So it was like 83, 84, thereabouts.
Yeah. Before that, it was just Blue Harvest.
It was Star Wars.
It was still episode 4.
Nope.
Because at the beginning of Star Wars, doesn't the number 4 come out?
No, not until 1983.
Oh.
When it got a second or third release on VHS.
Is that a Mandela effect?
Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
I remember it just being Star Wars. I don't ever remember I never saw the special editions in theaters. I think I owned them at some point, but I have a copy of the DVD that Fox released in 2006, 2005. Where you got the theatrical release and the special edition in the case, and it showed the crawl was different on both. And if you look at the index of the movies as well, it's different.
Nice.
So,
can you, without looking at the list, can you guys guess which the worst rated on Rotten Tomatoes of the 11 films, and which is the best?
I did see the list, so Mike, you can guess.
Oh, what's the first of the prequels? Phantom Menace?
It's not Phantom Menace.
It's not Phantom, but you're close. That's number 10. That got 53% Rotten Tomatoes.
The second worst is the Revenge of the Sith. I remember that.
Revenge of the Sith is number 7. Got 80%. Yeah, so it goes Rise of Skywalker got 52, Phantom Menace 53, really? Attack of the Clones 65, Solo, A Star Wars Story 70, Sith got 80, Return of the Jedi 82, Rogue One 83, and Last Jedi, which is a little surprising, is 91.
And this is why I don't really listen to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
because hands down, the Rise of Skywalker is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
when it first came out, I saw it twice in theaters, and then I bought the movie when it first came out on digital, and I watched it a bunch more times.
Nice.
Yeah, but Last Jedi's got him drinking that weird milk.
Yeah, that's great.
Drinking it straight from the teeth too, I think.
So good.
So Force Awakens 93, New Hope 93, and Empire 94.
Yeah.
Okay, so Todd, you just said that's your favorite Star Wars. Which one?
Rise. The Rise of Skywalker is hands down my favorite out of all of them.
That's the last one of the last trilogy.
That's Episode 9. Yeah.
Yeah. The middle one is the
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, and that was directed by somebody else that kind of I think the two that what's his name directed Rise and
JJ.
Yeah. Rise and Force Awakens are good.
I absolutely love them. In fact, the second time I watched Rise of Skywalker is when I kind of realized that when Ben comes back to save her, it's not really Ben. It's a Force ghost projected by Leia. That's why he disappears the same time she does.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And that's also why he giggled when she kind of like professed her love for him or something. Nice. It was like, yeah, of course you do. Of course you like my kid. Yeah.
Mike, what is your favorite Star Wars movie of all time?
Oh, man. Empire.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I know.
It's the best.
Yeah. It really
and
is.
It's got Boba Fett. Everybody's menacing, and the good guys.
Lando, introduction of Lando, and it's just.
Oh yeah, the twist at the end, right?
What a twist!
It really was. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and
the anticipation going from Star Wars to Empire, just like as a kid. Oh man, because it's like 3 years.
Knowing that there was going to be another Star Wars movie, like, oh my god, this next movie is going to be so fucking amazing.
Great. That was the other thing too. As Todd is alluding to, is that when Empire ends, they have to do another one, right?
Yes.
So you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And the rumor back then was that he had 10 ready to go. That was the rumor I always heard. Lucas is going to make 10 of these.
I heard that he was going to do more, but we were going to have to wait another 10 years before we saw them.
Yeah, and it was
ended up being 40.
Phantom. I was thinking Phantom.
I guess that does count.
Yeah, kind of. I still like them. They're not my favorite, but I don't like them. There's elements.
Yeah, and there's moments of disaster.
I think the thing that really ruined it for me, and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed them as much as I could. They were, after all, in the same universe. It didn't feel like Star Wars to me. But the whole thing that kind of ruined it for me was all the politics stuff and all the love stuff between Anakin and I could have done without either one of those things, and the movies would have been 100 times better for me.
All right,
like the Senate stuff.
All the Senate. I don't give two shits about that stuff. I really don't.
Yeah, I think it was just leading up to the power grab by Palpatine.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean,
but they could have cut that in half.
They could have. It could have been a lot less. It could have been a lot more action, and
they could have done more war stuff. Like you had to wait till the cartoons came out to get much of the Clone Wars.
Sure,
and you know what? The Clone Wars, even though it takes place during that era of the universe, the Clone Wars series is better than the movies.
What do you mean?
The show is better than the movies.
The Clone Wars cartoon show.
Yeah.
Is better than the
Star Wars movie?
No, the prequels.
Oh.
Yeah.
The prequels. Because, you have all the same characters, but the story is better. There's more happening. It's not just Anakin and Padme and, Palpatine in the Senate and all that other shit. It's there, but it's not like the forefront of the story. There's more happening on that show than there was in those three movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, Dooku and his apprentice, and
they're all, in fact, there's before this series happened, there was a mini series that took place, I think, right around the time as the movies were out, and it's not CG animated; it's like 2D animated, and the same style of drawing. But it's and that both of them, the full series and the miniseries, are both on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen them,
yeah, I'm going to save this question I had on the show notes for last because I think it might prompt a better discussion. But jumping into some crazy Star Wars trivia, R2-D2 was originally written in some of the early script iterations as a bully who spoke human, and he berated the crap out of C-3PO.
Here's Don Rickles.
Well,
it could have been.
You know what? Well, he is bullying him in the movie. You can't tell because he's being bleeped the entire time.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's.
I mean, he had a foul fucking mouth, man. I mean, everything he said was bleeped.
Well, he's a rolling trash can, right?
Which is probably my favorite joke from when they were on the Muppet Show.
Nice.
Yeah.
The first appearance of Boba Fett wasn't the Star Wars Holiday Special.
What?
Which you guys should go right now to the YouTubes and look up our Star Wars Holiday Special, a radio parody, and check it out. But the first time anyone set eyes on Boba Fett was September 24th, 1978. There was the townspeople near San Anselmo County had a parade in California, and the townspeople were lucky enough to get an advance look. They had Darth Vader and somebody in a Boba Fett costume heading up the parade.
I've seen video footage of it. They have it.
Have you really?
They have it on. They have it on Disney Plus. I don't remember where. It's one of the. I think it's behind the attraction. It's the one about Star Wars, and they talked about it. And not only that, but it was like the idea of the costume happened like right before the parade, and they put it all together. And the other thing is like the outfit is 100% white. There's no gray, there's no red, there's no blues, nothing. It's all white.
Yeah, so they only got it because they shared the same zip code with Lucasfilm's original headquarters. They were like, "Hey, can you send over some? You send over some characters?" And they shot over.
78 was the same year as the holiday special.
It was. It just was a few months.
Beat them by a number of months. Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Lucky
couple
Santa.
Yeah.
Santa.
San Anselmo.
San Anselmo.
The Jawa sandcrawler actually almost started a war between Tunisia and Libya. As we know, most of the Tatooine scenes were filmed in Tunisia. They actually parked the big sandcrawler near the border with Libya, and Libya saw it and thought, it's a giant war machine.
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, you need to get your shit off our border, or we're gonna retaliate. And they're like, dude, we're just filming a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it did have like the tank tracks, and it was totally cool. It was crazy. Todd has told us this story a few times. In the Redwood Forest, during the several month shoot, Peter Mayhew had to be constantly chaperoned by bodyguards in bright vests to protect him from hunters.
Wow.
Because he could have been mistaken for a bear, or more hilariously as Sasquatch, as people hunting for Bigfoot. They could have.
What's even funnier is there's a photoshopped image of the original Sasquatch picture from Washington State of them walking across and just kind of mid-step. Someone put his bullet belt on them.
Nice.
Yeah. And put his bowcaster
get
in his hand.
banned from I think Star Wars Incorporated banned him.
David Prowse.
Oh, Prowse.
Yeah.
Poor Prowse. What would happen to Prowse?
He had a falling out with Lucas. Nobody's really sure what happened, but the thought is that when they got around to Return of the Jedi and they pulled off the mask, they had a different actor playing Darth Vader, and it wasn't him, and he was pissed that he's like, finally they're gonna, you already took my voice away.
Yeah.
Which thank God they did, because nobody's going to do that better than James Earl Jones.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
But they pull off the mask, and it's and so he's like, I'm nowhere in this.
I didn't realize he had been banned from events, because I thought I remember seeing him going to like whatever their convention is that they have every year.
I don't. Yeah, this is on several different articles that I read to get these trivia questions. This came up.
Maybe the clips I saw were from like years and years ago.
Before
but
that, I guess it wasn't until Return that they would have had this fall. If that's the reason, loop between him and Lucas, it wouldn't have been until Return. So anything before then, he would have been part of everything.
Maybe it wasn't a sanctioned Star Wars event. Yeah. Maybe he was that I saw him at.
I don't know. Did you guys know that nobody ever utters the word Ewok in any point during Return of the Jedi?
I did not know that.
Yeah. It was named because of the toys and stuff were there. Oh, yeah. But yeah, nobody ever is like, oh, let's go down and hang out with the Ewoks. Oh, look, they're Ewoks. Nobody knows what an Ewok is, so...
Yeah, because nobody really had been on that world before. At least our protagonist hadn't been, right?
No, no, that moon.
Forest Moon of Endor.
The Forest Moon of Endor.
Did either of you guys see the Ewok movies that came out in '86?
With the little kids?
Yeah.
No. I might have, but...
No, I don't think so.
Remember.
I have them.
Oh, do you have them?
Yeah.
On video?
I have them on my computer at home.
Nice. No, and they're geared towards kids. I mean, they're geared towards little kids,
it's definitely like a kids movie.
Doesn't like in one of them a family crash lands on
the
Endor?
First one, yeah, and then the second one is they're still stranded and they're trying to still find their parents, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Are
those on Disney Plus at all?
I think they are, actually.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. I have them at home on my computer, but you can get them on Disney Plus as well.
How many deaths do you guys think there were during the first trilogy? Yeah, 2.
Oh, well, geez, yeah. I don't know how many people were living on Princess Leia's
planet, 2,795,192
well, they
estimated deaths.
They destroyed 2 planets in all 9 movies.
Yeah.
So
this was just the first trilogy.
Oh, the first trilogy. Yeah. Okay, so then
but Alderaan and then the Death Star,
and
and both Death Stars.
That's true. Yeah.
So the Alderaan got blown up, and then first and second Death Star.
And there's that hilarious, talking dialogue in Clerks, where Randall's talking about, do you think the average stormtroopers plunging toilets or, building shit? Yeah. They had to have, contractors on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Who got blown
contractors, up. Yeah.
What's really funny is I was listening to his podcast, Hollywood Babble on, and when the Force Awakens first came out, and there's that line about like I'm a janitor, and he's like, holy shit, they're basically referencing Clerks, because Finn's character was a sanitation expert.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, if it, in those days, it would have been Mike and I up there. I've been pulling cable. You would have been building something. Todd, you would have been in customer service, right? You would have been in...
I would have probably been working at one of the bars on the Death Star.
Nice.
Did you want blue milk or green milk?
Oh, my God.
Who speaks for
we don't have any Kashyyyk steak.
The passengers.
You don't want to eat that anyways. It's really chewy.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher, during the Jabba the Hutt scenes, did not want to wear any modesty tape on her body. Don't know why, but so she's in the golden bikini, and they had to take so many takes, and keep in mind that there's probably 40 people on set between puppeteers and actors and everybody, and she's up there, she's having to be completely stiff and straight, because if she starts moving, stuff might start
falling out,
and she didn't want to put the tape on. She wanted it to make it look as real as possible, I think. But God bless her, pulled it off. But they had to do a number of takes with her sitting there dealing with that.
You know that where he takes that chain and like
wraps it around him.
That was improv.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's great.
On the Sandcrawler or whatever.
She spent all those hours in that suit.
she was done.
She was fucking done. And she's like, when it was time to kill Jabba the Hutt, she wrapped that thing around his neck and just start pulling on it.
That's great.
And,
man.
But I mean,
she
Jabba's a bad guy. I mean, I'm not going to defend Jabba anytime.
She's like, I cut his head off. You don't see that in the movie, but I cut his head off.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that in the movie. That would have been badass.
Yeah,
because he is a worm. Although if I remember, Hutt species are typical, like blaster proof. So whatever their skin is, it's pretty tough.
Really?
Yeah,
he just got that layer of fat. That
whatever it is, they're tough creatures.
Yeah.
They come from some.
I was really hoping to see more of the Hutts in like the Boba Fett series. You know.
Yeah. Somebody, I think we talked about that on the program, is that they were coming up. They were going to have like a Hutt-centric series, but it's like they don't speak, typical.
Oh, we
did
talk about that. It was Del Toro. Guillermo.
Oh, he'd make him creepy.
He wanted to do a Hutt-based centric movie.
And have it be like about the mafia.
Yeah, they're criminals. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what
I don't know.
The Book of Boba Fett was essentially that. It was supposed to be kind of a mafioso type show.
Yeah, because he boots out the Hutts in charge, right?
Yeah,
and then has to deal with putting together his own crew and
remember he refuses. He's a guy going into combat pretty much daily. He knows people want to murder him, and he takes off his protective helmet.
Friggin' helmet that can
every
block.
time.
I honestly believe that's because Tamora Morrison didn't want to have his face hidden.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would 1,000% on.
Yeah.
Because he got those brand new veneers on his teeth and shit.
Yeah.
Well, he had to get that because he was going to be the father of Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Didn't he win an Oscar for the piano? Is that him?
Who?
Tamora Morrison?
Tamora Morrison, yeah. I think...
The piano?
Isn't he the main antagonist in the piano?
No, that was
he could be.
That wasn't that Daniel Day-Lewis?
No, it was crap. It wasn't
the piano. Hold on.
It wasn't Daniel Day-Lewis. It wasn't Christopher Walken. It wasn't
Keitel.
It was Keitel.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was Keitel.
I can't remember what I'm thinking of, but there's like an older movie with Tamora Morrison.
I didn't know that.
But I thought, I mean,
that could be because it took place in Australia, right, or New Zealand.
Holly Hunter, Harvey Keitel, Sam Neill.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of a different movie. I'm thinking of
Kerry Walker.
Yeah,
she must love Walker, Texas Ranger.
I still think they should have had like Christopher Walken on The Walking Dead and just have him be a zombie.
Oh my God,
The Walking Dead.
I just need more cowbell.
I bet he doesn't leave his house for less than like $500,000.
That was a great Shatner impression you did there.
I don't know what that means. Did you guys know that the first Star Wars film, Episode 4 for Mike, took 4 years of production to complete that thing?
Oh, yeah.
4
brand new tech. The green screen stuff at the time.
And the modeling they had to build for that thing.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part of like the behind the scenes was all the models.
Oh, it's amazing.
And they actually had that stuff at the Seattle Center in 2011, I think it was.
Wow.
I got to see like the actual Millennium Falcon and all the TIE fighters, and they actually had the Luke speeder. And the first thing I did is I looked underneath it to see if it had wheels, and it did. And it had 2 in the back, 1 in the front.
Nice.
Yeah, James Chalinsky's dad worked on some of those models. He was a model maker.
He's a
local skater kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Guys, when George Lucas got his hands on one of the very first edits of the film, the original Star Wars, he decided to ask two of his directing buddies, close friends of his, for their opinions. And no surprise, he got mixed responses. Brian De Palma told him it was, quote, the worst movie he had ever seen.
Oh, my God.
While Steven Spielberg accurately predicted that it would be a box office hit and become the greatest movie
and I
of
think
all
this is
time.
probably why.
Did Spielberg really say that? No, that's great.
This is probably why I can't tell you one De Palma movie.
Chinatown. That's his best.
Never saw it.
Oh my God, so good.
And because I think he's capable of getting good work out of his actors, but I think he also did a lot of coke.
But Spielberg is basically he directed all of our childhoods.
Pretty close, pretty close. But there just wasn't as cool as Star Wars.
No.
You know what I mean? Close Encounters is a great movie. It's a great movie.
I wouldn't say
it's just not as cool as Star Wars.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, E.T.
I mean, all their movies, all of them are great. As far as I'm concerned, they're all in the same universe. In fact, it's not official, it's not canon, but people say that E.T. is definitely part of Star Wars because of two things. One, we see Yoda in the movie E.T.
Oh.
It's a kid in the costume, but still Yoda.
Oh, all right.
But E.T. reacts to him, too.
Yeah. Like, so he recognizes him.
Yeah.
And then in, I think, the second of the three prequels, or maybe it's the third one, I can't remember which one. It's not the first one, though. There's a scene in where you see like a panning shot over the Senate. You see one of the floating pod things with like 6 or 7 of those
representatives,
E.T. creatures.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, that's
Which also means that Earth is in, because they're in a galaxy far, far away or whatever.
Right.
But that means Earth is part of their existence, right?
Yeah.
Because
like I said, this is not canon, but
I like it.
People talk about it all the time.
Spielberg.
Is it cutting out? What's it?
Yeah, is your arm on it? On the?
It's on mine. Well, actually, this.
Oh, there. Yeah. See, when you move it, it messes with it.
Here, let me.
She-bang.
Lastly, guys, and this is what I was alluding to before. Chewbacca's name comes from the Russian word sobaka, which means dog.
That makes sense.
What?
Sobaka is the Russian word for dog, and that's where they got Chewbacca.
Jeez.
Which is kind of fun, right? I mean, you just took and chew.
Chewbacca.
You know, that robot is was it Romanian for slave?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That could be. Boys, we did not get a help me advice person, but I did find one on the Am I the Asshole about Star Wars addiction.
Was it
Star
on
Wars
Reddit?
Addiction? Nice.
Well, kind of.
Oh,
Was this on Reddit?
I don't remember where I got this from. It might have been Reddit. So the person writes in, my fiance, a 26-year-old female, and I, a 27-year-old male, recently got engaged on Valentine's Day.
Hey.
We're hoping to get married in the next 2 years, so almost every conversation we have at the moment is about wedding planning. Star Wars has been a huge influence on my life ever since I was a kid. I've watched all the movies more times than I could possibly count, and it's something nearly all my family and friends enjoy too. So when I was thinking of wedding planning ideas, it seemed obvious that we should be doing something Star Wars related. I've been brainstorming ideas and have some really great themed ideas. For example, alcoholic blue milk drinks to serve to the guests. Hiring stormtroopers to party and dance, Jedi robes for all my groomsmen, playing Across the Stars for the first dance. While I have more typically nerdy interests, my fiancée isn't really interested in most movies or games. She is very much typical girly girl and the type of person who has been planning her wedding since she was very young. She has some very specific ideas about what our wedding should look like, more formal and glamorous than I'd imagined, and her vision definitely doesn't include lightsabers.
I think you should I think you should pull the ripcord and get the fuck out of Dodge.
The problem is that my fiance really doesn't want anything Star Wars related at our wedding at all. All of my suggestions so far have been shot down without further discussion.
You're marrying the wrong woman.
One solution I suggest is that we could plan half the wedding, like she handles the ceremony and I plan the reception. That way we could both have what we want. However, my fiance says that plan would make me the asshole because even having Star Wars related themed reception would be an, quote, embarrassment in front of everyone we know. From my perspective, this is my wedding too, and I should get to decide at least half of the day. While money isn't much of an issue, we share finances, so I'm paying enough to get a say too. Am I the asshole for wanting a Star Wars themed wedding, even though my fiance really doesn't?
No, but I think you're marrying the wrong woman.
Yeah, and if you're going to commit to marrying her, this is the very first, but certainly not the last major compromise you're going to make, dude.
Yeah,
because there's no way you can pull this off and not have her piased forever.
Forever. Wedding pictures, the whole deal.
Kidding me.
Dude,
but I would say, if he's going to stay with her, and Todd, I find you to be completely legitimate in your statement.
Yeah.
But if he chooses not to do that and to forge ahead for whatever reason, just plan a party. Just a separate party. Do either your birthday party or, you know what I mean? And just throw a party. Go, look, we're going to spend X amount on this wedding. I'm going to, just treat myself and spend X amount just so they're all straight up and they know it's coming on this party because it means a lot to me. So
I have sort of a similar take. My take, and this guy's probably already married because I think this was a year or two ago when he wrote this, or maybe he ran for the hills like Todd suggested. My take is go ahead with the formal bullshit that your wife wants to do, right? But then go have a second ceremony at the Temple of the Jedi, whatever Church of the Jedi. And say, okay, we're going to do your whole formal thing with all the daddy-daughter dance, all that stuff, right? Tuxes, the whole works. But we're going to have a second ceremony. It can be smaller, but we're going to do it here, and all my nerdy friends that want to come and celebrate as a Star Wars wedding, we're going to do that.
And if she refuses that, then she's the wrong person. Yeah, you're kidding me.
I you know what? I mean, you guys are both married, so you understand how women are better than I.
Well,
but
don't put that on my.
But no, I honestly, I think if you're having to make that kind of compromise, I don't think she's the right one. I mean, you both should be able to have what you want in your wedding.
Because you're going to need to learn to compromise on a lot of things in that relationship. So you should start.
You should definitely have.
She's making it sound like that's not happening.
Yeah, so. And if she's that dead set against it, like, dude, she's going to find other things that annoy the piss out of her, and she's going to make you stop doing those things.
Yeah. People plan. I mean, women are pressured to do so.
If there's no compromise on her at all, then there's going to be no compromise
anywhere
in your life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be an entire, but like the guy was saying, maybe we just do we walk under lightsabers at the end, and we have a few stormtroopers show up to dance or whatever.
I mean, honestly, that's stuff that I would absolutely do if I ever found somebody. And one of the things I always have on my dating profile is it must love Star Wars, because if you don't like Star Wars, we're not going to get along, because if you have anything negative to say about anything that I like as far as my fandoms, it's done. I'm not going to compromise the things that bring me joy because you don't like it. You know, we have to have some common grounds on some things, and
I'd be a little nervous too if they ended up having kids and he wants to get Star Wars themed stuff, and if she's that's against it,
you
know,
anybody who's embarrassed by your fandoms, they're not for you. Honestly, I mean,
or that application. We don't know that she's embarrassed of his fandoms per se. We just know that she said that it would be an embarrassment in front of everyone they knew
that
they
says
themed
it's
their
embarrassing
wedding.
For her, period. And I think that she would not like those things in general. So
weddings are sacred to some people. They really are, man. And I know women get pressured since birth.
And this is why they're called Bridezilla, because of that stuff. And I'm sorry. I mean, I think if it's great if you found somebody, but if they're gonna be so negative towards the things that bring you joy, I think that should be a red flag.
Yeah, I certainly a point of deep consideration, right?
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. Because, I mean, come on. It's like, you don't have to take it too far, but
right. But at the very least, she should be like, okay, we can have this, this, and this, but I want that, that, and that. You know, not like we're not doing it because I don't want my wedding day to be embarrassing. You know what? Right there, I would be like, okay, I'm done. This is something from my childhood that I really enjoy. I mean, I understand she's been planning hers since she was probably 6.
Well, especially if his side of the family, if his buddies, his family, his friends are all into it too, then it's as much a party. A wedding is to celebrate the two of them getting together, right? So it's as much a party for his friends and family as it is for hers.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's not embarrassing for his friends and families to go to a star, I would love it. I would be like, fuck, this is the coolest thing.
If the wedding party was going to the Galaxy's Edge, I'd be like, yeah, I'm buying my tickets tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm sure Disney in general just gets the same sort of thing because there's people into Disney, and so if one of the partnership is like, I want to have a Disney themed, wedding, and the other one was like, Disney is an embarrassment. It's like, right, it is. It's a. I don't know, and we all compromise stuff. We all do, right? That's the thing. It's like I just want to have Swedish meatballs. My old lady doesn't want to have Swedish meatballs.
I've seen videos of people like questioning people's sanity for being Disney adults. I was like, really, dude? Come on.
That's dumb.
That is dumb.
Let people enjoy what the fuck they enjoy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean...
Well, the question here is am I the asshole? He's not really looking for advice.
No,
I think he's being too timid.
Asshole?
Yeah.
I think that he's not. I mean, he's saying he's willing to compromise, meet her halfway, right? So he's definitely not the asshole.
She's not going to give him half. She's not going to give him halfway.
Yeah, and I think he needs to have a bigger question to himself, which is like, am I, capable of pulling this off and not having my intellectual fandom needs met?
If you're willing to compromise this and not have Star Wars in your wedding, you're gonna have to compromise everywhere else in your life with her because she's not gonna let you have any paraphernalia from Star Wars in the house unless it's in your room or your man cave or whatever. You're not gonna be able to you're not going to have any of that kind of cool stuff in your life because she's not going to allow it. She doesn't think it's cool.
That's a good possibility, yeah.
And he's going to end up going to like speakeasy Star Wars joints. You know what I mean? Hired prostitutes
we'll go with you, bro.
wear.
You give us a call. We're going to hang out with you.
He's going to end up finding his next wife at a Comic-Con. Honestly.
And we don't know. I mean, he could have broader interests. Like they could be completely into the same kind of music. They could both be chefs. They could both be.
Or it was just the sex was really good.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of love languages that keep people together, right?
Yeah.
So there could be other things that keep them together. But the question on this is, am I the asshole? You are not the asshole.
Definitely not.
Because you have already said in your statement that you're willing to go halfway.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what compromise is.
And I would think that kind of takes you out of asshole territory. Right?
Yeah, and it didn't sound like, I mean, he said, what was it? It was he wanted a couple stormtroopers dancing at the wedding and maybe Jedi robes for his groomsmen.
I think the Jedi robes for the groomsmen is a fantastic idea. If I'm ever lucky enough to find someone who wants to marry me, I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah.
And you can do, he said the blue milk drinks, you can do, in fact, at our listening party for our holiday parody, I found several Star Wars themed cocktails, which are really cool. But if you didn't know they were Star Wars, but you could tell people this is the Darth Vader or whatever, you can make little drinks that look like Yoda, right? You can do a few of those. Sure. There's nothing wrong with that.
I would think.
Fun and kitschy.
Yeah, but not if she's going,
No, I agree. But the 4 things that he listed, maybe the first dance. What's Across the Stars? Is that the themed?
I think it's probably from one of the prequels. I don't recognize it.
I mean, the first dance is
Imperial March.
You know what?
With her, you might need to.
Specifically with her, you would definitely need the Imperial March.
That was really Rice Soper coming down the aisle. Yeah. It was the Imperial March.
But
cool.
I think Across the Stars might have been like one of the ones where it's like dun 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 dun.
Oh shit!
I photographed that one.
It was at the old.
They're not together
VFW,
still, right?
No.
Nah.
He's got a really cool Jess right now. She's cool.
The thing is I know someone who like has a specific fandom, and his now ex is like, well, you can't do that anymore. You need to get a regular job, and I don't want you doing that anymore.
Yeah, bummer. I don't know. I find that to be a.
They end up divorcing because he's like, no. I'm not giving this shit up. This is part of me, and if you don't like it, then there's a door.
No, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. I mean, life is short, people. Enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah, don't let somebody yuck your yum, as I hear
yuck
people say.
Your yum.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Jeez. That's nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Not the asshole.
No.
Not the asshole.
And since this is a time machine every week, maybe he is hearing this just in the nick of time.
I mean, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, and don't sell yourself. Don't give up on that. I read an interesting article that the more money you spend on a wedding, the more likely you are to get divorced, and it's just by looking at how much people spend and how quickly they get divorced. And it seems to be if you spend a ton of money on it, you get divorced quicker.
Wow.
So
yeah.
So justice of the peace, people.
I'm still waiting for Oprah to break up with Stedman.
Who? What?
Which one are you going to marry?
Oprah.
Yeah.
All day.
I know. Stedman is kind of cute, though. So
I don't know if he's an actual living being.
I don't know.
No,
either.
He's an actual person.
I just think that it's just somebody so people leave Oprah alone. It's like in a Psycho. It's the window. You know, she's not really in the window.
And then we can all say Mike is Oprah rich.
Yeah.
Defend yourself.
Plus, I like
Charles.
Oprah.
It's not loaded.
Oh yeah, I gotta use the.
Oh yeah.
There's a blocking mechanism. Todd showed it to me.
There's a button
where it is.
on the top there.
There it is.
Oh, it's cool. Oh yeah, when they walk in, and Boba Fett and Darth are hanging out.
Yes.
When they shoot at him, they go into his hand.
Right.
Which was a superpower we didn't know he had.
It deflected him.
Yeah. Oh, so fucking cool.
Just a force shield.
On the midway point, there's that little circuit thing. Push up on that.
There you go.
Push up on that.
Oh man.
And then the button on your index finger.
That's the block.
If you tap on it, it will random spots, and then if you angle it like I think the 45,
cool.
it will light up the tip when you hit that button.
Mike's feeling a little dark side right now.
So yeah, angle the lightsaber kind of and then hit that button.
Oh.
Well, I saved this question for late in the show. I'm going to start with Mr. Todd on this because I'm sure he's got a lot to say about it. Todd, what direction would you like to see Star Wars go in at this point?
I'm good with no more Skywalker saga. I'm good with that because like I said, the Rise of Skywalker is my favorite, and I think that was a great movie.
Leave it there.
I think it's fine. I would definitely like to see more of Finn. And Rey, because we need to know what happened between the two of them. Because at one point I
wonder if he'll show up in the John Boyega.
John Boyega, yeah.
I wonder if he'll show up in the new Rey movie.
Maybe. Yeah, I hope he does.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he's British.
Yeah, he is British. I don't think we'll ever see any of the other cast again, which is fine. Because
Kylo died at the end, right? Didn't he die to save her?
No.
Didn't he? He didn't die.
I don't remember him dying. No.
Mandela.
Yeah.
No, I thought he died saving her. Like he used all of his force energy.
Oh, Kylo.
Yeah.
Kylo. What did I say?
Yeah.
You said, yeah.
No, you said Kylo. Yeah.
I was thinking Bo.
Ben, thank you. Yeah.
At the end, he comes climbing out of the pit or wherever that was, and saves her. But I still maintain that was a Force ghost done by his mother. If you watch it again, they both disappear. They kind of do the Force where they kind of fade away at the same time. You know?
So like he was already gone.
He was already dead, and and Leia brought him back as a Force ghost to help her.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna have to watch that trilogy again.
And those are still on Disney, right?
Those are on Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, because when the first was it 2015, the first one?
Yeah, 2015, 2016, thereabouts.
Yeah.
And then 2018 for the second one, and then 2020 for the third one.
So if we're not doing, so you want to see more of some of that cast doing other stuff.
I would like to see where Rey goes from here.
Yeah.
I think that
and you get your opportunity.
And I think I would love to see Poe and Finn, I think, should come back.
Okay.
Sure.
But I would also like to see, like, maybe some new characters, and I don't think we're going to see much more of C-3PO or R2 unless they get somebody else to voice C-3PO.
Sure.
Because
and they were in every movie, right?
Every single one.
Yeah. Because it's kind of through their eyes, really.
Yeah. And I mean, I know a lot of people hate Rey. And I don't understand it. I think she's a great character. She's essentially, I legit thought she was going to be like the daughter of Luke. I really did. And so when it became known that she was the granddaughter of Palpatine, I was like, oh shit, and it's like, okay, that explains a few things, like Luke's lineage was Anakin, and he was the chosen one, and he was the strongest in the Force, so of course Luke is going to have some innate abilities to do what he did, and he was able to figure it out relatively easily without having to do a lot of training, although he still needed training to figure out some things, which makes sense. And same thing with Rey, so I don't really see the hate for that, other than the fact that she's a gorgeous British woman, and they just are hating, so.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
Yeah,
it's just dumb. I'm right there with you, Todd. I wouldn't mind that at all. I am like you. I'm done with the Skywalker saga. I mean, 6-9 movies is enough.
I honestly think that we didn't get enough of Luke and Han. I thought we should have seen them more in those movies.
I was really hoping that the solo Star Wars story would have done better, and that they would have done more young Han.
I still think they could. I think what they need to do is just figure out doing the stories without like cramming too much into one movie, because that's essentially. And don't get me wrong, that movie was directed by Ron Howard, and he's a fantastic director.
Wait, which one was directed by Ron?
Solo,
the Star Wars story.
All right.
Yeah, wow. And he took over for somebody that got canned, right? Who was?
I don't remember who it was.
I don't either.
The person either got fired or they stepped down. I can't remember which. But either way, Ron Howard did that movie. I liked it. It was funny. It had some great moments in it. I've heard people say that they try to cram too much nostalgia into that movie to connect it to the original trilogy. So what? Those are the parts of the movie that I really enjoyed, because it's referencing this thing, and where fucking Harrison Ford said this and this in the movie, and but I don't know. I still think they should do more of the Han Solo's kind of what happened to Han after Jedi.
Show him as a spice runner, or a smuggler and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
there's plenty of stories.
I think that's kind of what they did in that movie. I would like to see more of that, though. Yeah. And the other thing I would love to see Star Wars do is definitely expand on Din Djarin's story, and Ahsoka would be great.
We got the second season coming of Ahsoka. We got the movie, and they'll probably tie it in with. What they're saying is the new movie that's coming out is a Skeleton Crew. We talked about this, right?
Is that a movie or a series?
It's a series, but they'll probably tie it in. They'll probably tie that into that whole, like that's the Skeleton? Mandalorian verse, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
And all that. The Acolyte takes place before everything.
Hundreds of years beforehand, yeah.
But all the other new series and stuff. And what was the other series? Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Boba Fett.
The one about the dude from
I think that takes place before too.
No, the one I'm talking about is the one. It's about the guy from Rogue One.
Yeah, Andor. That takes place before the
before Empire or before Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm never going to call it Episode 4, folks. Ever. I refuse.
No worries. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Todd. I've seen several times people suggest a movie for Star Wars, which I think would be awesome. So this is not my original idea, but I think it's great. Is have right after Empire, the Empire leaves a contingent of soldiers, stormtroopers, on Hoth, and they're manning that base. And one of the what do you call it? The abominable snowmen comes in like a fucking horror movie.
Bantha's were the
with the little things they rode.
Yeah.
But there's something that's coming around. It's more like a horror story.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. On Hoth.
Yeah, and they can't shoot it.
Wampa.
And they
just can't hit it.
It's called a Wampa.
Yeah. I thought that would be a cool story. But yeah, I'm with you. I want to see more rogue stuff. I want to see more out in the Outer Rim stuff.
I think it would be great if they took from the extended universe that basically Disney has said it's not canon. We're not using it. It's like they did use some of it. They brought Thrawn back, and he was part of the extended universe.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to see them do more of that. Maybe we could see. Because in those stories, as I understand it, Luke or Leia and Han had twins. It wasn't just Ben; it was Ben and his sister. Mm-hmm. So I would like to find out what happened to her if she exists in canon.
Yeah,
if they make her part of canon, that would be great. We'd find out what happened to Ben's twin sister. She disappeared or whatever happened, or
right. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I would love just anthology, and I mean the quality of TV is way up, so I wouldn't mind it just being a series, but an anthology of Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
like they've got 1,000 generations, right?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that what the Acolyte is going to be? It's going to be the Old
I have
Republic?
no idea.
I don't know that they go back 1,000 years, but it does take place before the
it's like 10, 20,000 years.
The show, the Acolyte.
The Acolyte,
I don't know how far before the original trilogy it is.
I think because some of the animated...
Or before the prequel.
I honestly would love to see more animated stuff.
Sure. But I just like that idea of anthology.
Speaking of animated stuff, they announced that Ashley Eccleston, who was the original voice of Ahsoka, is going to be at SummerCon.
No, nice.
As well as D. Bradley Baker, who was all of the clones, and he's also Klaus from Family Dad. Or American Dad.
Who is it?
Klaus, the goldfish. The goldfish.
No.
And he's also a bunch of different things. He's an amazing voice actor. I'm looking forward to seeing those two because they're both part of the Clone Wars, and I think they're going to have other people from Clone Wars as guests for SummerCon this year.
Nice. Yeah, Mike. Any other like Outer Rim? You want to see more of the ancient stuff?
Yeah, I mean, geez, I didn't know I had multiple choices.
Oh, you can do as much as you want.
Yeah, because that's what I like. The Mandalorian, because he was kind of the the traveling samurai, right? Righting wrongs. So they kind of have that covered. So I don't think we need another one of the hero arrives or whatever. But I like the idea of just an anthology series. They can skip 100 years, thousands of years in between.
I see what you're saying.
Just shorts,
kind of like Amazing Stories, but Star Wars stories.
I'll be down for that. Yeah. Or the other thing I would love to see is whether it be Filoni or Favreau, somebody please give us a backstory on Yoda's species. Let's find out what they are, where they're from, how Yoda became the only one who speaks backwards, because the other one, Yaddle from the prequels, didn't speak backwards, and then Grogu doesn't speak yet. So I'm hoping at some point, honestly,
maybe it's like a Kentucky accent.
Exactly. I was thinking he's from Georgia.
I think the speaking backwards is they've said that it was from like he's. I don't know, for the lack of a better terminology, he became a Buddhist or something, and he just that was the way they did their thing. So it is
very Deepak Chopra.
following their philosophies, and he's still a Jedi and whatnot, but he speaks the way they speak, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think just like Anakin, it's kind of a precognition, right? So maybe his speaking in that kind of simple backwards way is because he sees future events like moments before they occur, stuff like that, right? So,
and there's also a possibility, and I think I heard somebody else say this, but I could just be thinking it up myself, but it could be his way of like deflecting people finding him, because he was trying to hide out, and the Emperor was able to find all the other Jedi, but couldn't find Yoda for whatever reason. I think maybe him speaking backward was one way of...
Yeah, and it's also maybe that simple, like I'm a simpleton, not a simpleton, but I'm a simple person, right? I talk simply, but I carry great weight.
Yeah, Luke really underestimated him immediately, right?
Yeah.
Until he lifted the ship out of the swamp.
Right.
You know?
And I still think the only part of the prequel series that I thought was absolutely fantastic and I wanted to see more of and never did, but was Yoda just being a badass.
Yeah.
Just coming in and just bouncing around.
Dooku and stuff.
Yeah.
Fighting
Dooku and Palpatine after Palpatine just chopped down the heavy squad.
The best part was he walked in the room and just did that, and both sets of guards got thrown up against the wall and knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And all he did was move his hands like that, like, get the hell out of my way.
Yeah, and Ventress, speaking of Ventress, in Clone Wars, he just grabs her lightsabers because she's a badass, wicked. She's Dooku's apprentice. She's mean. And had fought Anakin a number of times to a standstill. Yeah. So she's very capable. Younger Anakin. And he just snatches right out of her hands her lightsabers and then gives them back because he sees that she's no threat to him. It is chef's kiss insult.
That's just like,
oh my God, you can't cap on a warrior anymore capping.
Dude, that's like walking up to a short person and putting your hand on their head and saying, yeah, you can't touch me.
Oh, man, that's fantastic.
That or taking a punch, right? You take that punch and you turn around.
That's how Vegeta does it.
Really?
Yeah, Vegeta, that's every single fight Vegeta's ever in. Yeah. He lets him get the first lick in and then he,
this actually happened to me when I was living in my uncle's house. His oldest son, my cousin Robbie, got mad at me for, I don't even remember why he was mad, but he got up on my face, was screaming at me, and then he headbutted me, broke my glasses, and I just stood there and going, what the fuck is that about? And the look on his face was like, oh shit. Because he thought he was going to knock me out.
I done messed up.
I didn't do anything to him because I wasn't sure why he was angry, Like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Fucking stupid.
All right, well, people, we're going to end that there, and we're going to come back and do our bonus round. Our top 5 is our favorite Star Wars characters across the universe of all time and space. So any show, any cartoon, any book, any comic, any Star Wars character. Yeah. I don't really care if they're canon. I don't know if Todd does. I don't know if you do.
I don't know any non-canon characters, to be perfectly honest.
Mine are all sort of simplistic, but so come back and see us in the members only section of the website, or go to the Patreons and sign up and check that out. There's a bunch of top 5s there. There's a bunch of our takes. Tonight's our take, I think we're still doing V, the boys, what is it, the V, Generation V. That's what I was trying to say. The boys spinoff on Prime. Fun series, that one. So we're going to come back and do both of those bonuses. I'm going to leave you guys with something positive here. Quote from Yoda and a quote from Obi-Wan.
There is no try.
Yoda said, "Luminous beings we are, not this crude matter."
Nice.
Which I found awesome. And then Obi-Wan said, "Many of the truths that we cling to depend on our viewpoint."
Nice. And before I forget, things to share, I recently rediscovered a thing that I used to love back in the early aughts, Woot.com.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it was a thing where every day it would be a different one thing they were selling. It would be at a great discount. Now it's owned by Amazon, but what I loved about Woot was the t-shirt. So go to t-shirt.woot.com and they have all kinds of stuff, and they still have the once a day special thing. But you can also dig through the archive of Woot shirts.
Give us an example of a Woot shirt. Is it just whatever?
It's random stuff. It's a lot of similar to the stuff you'd find on Ripped Apparel. A lot of nerdy stuff.
Okay.
My favorite Woot shirt that I had was the TARDIS and the DeLorean had a mid-air collision. And the caption, which I was sad that it wasn't on the shirt, but the caption for the page said it came out of nowhere. And the other one that I got, which was absolutely fantastic, and I want to order a new one, but they don't make them in my size. It was the Imperial Walker, but instead of it being like the normal fuselage, which is like a bread box or whatever, it's 2 @ symbols.
Oh yeah.
And that was nice. I wore that shirt to death. So.
Nice.
But yeah, t-shirt.woot.com.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys because I know you're going to come over to the bonus features. So come on, do that now and check us out. And that is Star Wars, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you,
Lucasfilm, being a part of our lives.
Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. No matter what anyone else says, you're fucking amazing.
Sure.
All right. All right. See you, folks.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.